Selamat pagi semuanya. Terima kasih telah mendengarkan bersama kami di sini di Leadership 365 365. Bonjour à tous. Merci beaucoup d'avoir écouté ici avec moi. And buenos días a todos. Todas. Muchas gracias por escucharme aquí conmigo. So thank you so much for just being here and then listening to me here. Hang out with me here. I'll try to make it short and simple. About 40-45 minutes, 45 minutos, 40-45 menit di podcast saya ini Leadership 365. Our goal is really simple, to share and inspire other leaders and audiences such as yourself, listeners, spark insightful discussions, and provide valuable insights for you all. All right. Good morning, guys. Thank you for joining me here again. This is Nicky Dare, Leadership 365. I want to get in here this morning amidst of all of the chaos that's going on here in Los Angeles. As you may already know, that we have a lot of news, devastating fires going on, wildfires. It started with Palisades and then all the way to Hollywood Hills. Now, last night, Studio City fires just broke out. Okay. So, this is a podcast where I really would like to sort of engage here with you all listeners. And speaking about this, whether it is current events or just basically talk about, our regular, themes or topics, leadership, right? But this is also, evolve around that the topic that we always cover regularly, where we dive into the critical conversation shaping our world today. Yes, thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Nicky Dare, and in today's episode, we're taking on a topic that's both timely and controversial: disasters and climate change. I do want to touch on this topic about climate change because there's a lot of hum-has out there, and I just want to get in my 3 cents. I think a lot of you who are familiar with some of the projects that we have carried out in the last few years, climate change is really, and disasters actually, is really the foundation of the nonprofit that we have with I Dare, the grassroots nonprofit, which is, mobilization of reducing disaster risk and the things that we unprecedented and unpredictable, things like that, right? And how do we do this? And I want to, really today, climate change, because I've been reading in the last couple of days about this, and people are still offering that climate change is real and things like that. Let me just allow me to share my three cents on this, my thoughts. Specifically, we'll explore a question many people have been asking: is climate change a hoax? And if not, is something humanity has a hand in creating? So let's get into it. Disasters, natural or man-made. This is just really my basics theme, I should say, topic that we've been discussing and we've been presenting to the communities here, whether it is locally here in California or nationwide or even international, right, are becoming increasingly frequent and severe. We've been covering this topic since, if I recall, 2011, 2010. And that's how I Dare, the grassroots nonprofit, was born out of mobilizing resources, how we can take care of ourselves, prepare, and things like that. It's really, really shameful that it's gone into this far. And, I'm seeing the communities here in Los Angeles are not really prepared. And then we kind of knew that, right? It all comes within us by just being aware of things, right? And hurricanes are stronger, as we already see. Wildfires more devastating, and floods even more widespread. While, some argue these events are part of natural climate cycles, right? Others insist that they are amplified by human activity. And we get into that in a second here. So which is it? Is this just a Mother Nature at work, or is it more to the story? Now, the data doesn't lie. First, let's talk about facts. Now, I'm around facts, and that's why, whatever that I see, I have to fact check everything. And, I want to thank Elon Musk on providing such a great, compelling platform that is so unbiased, call X, and that's where I get my news, guys. I mean, I don't even look at the legacy media or even Google and things like that, because it doesn't work. It's useless. They all talk about the same thing. I think they have the same assignment. They have the same notes that they share when they go into the office, right? And that's not authentic. I mean, this is something that the media needs to be cognizant of providing information. It's like, talk about facts, nothing that is altered to the public. Okay, so scientists have studied climate patterns for centuries. We all know that. And the consensus among climate experts is very clear, right? The Earth is warming. We all know that. And human activities like burning fossil fuels, deforestation, and industrial pollution are accelerating this trend, right? We cover all of this during the global roundtable, right? For sustainable roadmap sustainability, we've covered this talk into depth, into details regarding this. And by the way, I know I'm a little bit tangent here. The next global roundtable that we are planning to do is on Earth Day this year. It should be April 22nd. Every year it's April 22nd, Earth Day. So, if you guys are interested in becoming a speaker or sponsoring that event, because it is a self-funding event, please do reach out to our team at Dare, because that's who's going to be hosting. And just check out their website, idarecares.org. All right. So according to NASA, the planet's average surface temperature has risen about 2 degrees Fahrenheit since the late 19th century. Fact check that one. Does that sound small? Sure. But in climate terms, it's massive. A change like this disrupts ecosystems, melts ice caps. I've saw this myself, by the way. The last time that I went to Alaska, I go to Alaska almost every year during like the summertime, our summertime, and we would go up to the glaciers, 2, 3 glaciers, and talk to the local people there, rangers there. And then, I see it myself. It's melting the ice, right? And fuels extreme weather. Is declining. So when we see stronger hurricanes or record-breaking heat waves, of course it's not just coincidence, right? But that leaves it to is it the hoax argument? What about the hoax argument? Okay, now let's address the elephant in the room. The claim that climate change is a hoax. The claim that climate change, it is a hoax. Where does this idea come from? Well, often is tied to political agendas or economic interests. Deniers argue that the climate change policies hurt businesses or impose unnecessary regulations. Some even claim that the data is exaggerated or fabricated. Yeah, believe it. The data is exaggerated or fabricated. Here's the thing. Skepticism is healthy. Asking questions is how we get to the truth. Agree with me? Right. But ignoring overwhelming scientific evidence, that's very dangerous, especially when lives are at stake. So here's the role for human activity. Let's take a step back and examine our role in this equation, the whole equation here that we're talking about. For decades, industries have emitted greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane into the atmosphere, right? These gases trap heat, creating what we know as the greenhouse effect. So can we undo this damage? Absolutely. Everything is doable, right? But it requires collective action. Yes, global leadership. Start with home front too, right? We have a lot of things, a lot of challenges facing us here at the home front, which is our own country. And most importantly, personal accountability. I would highlight these words, personal accountability. It starts with us. It always starts with us. It will not go moving forward. It doesn't start with us, right? And of course, the leadership. Climate change and disasters. There is a tangible connection. The impacts of climate change aren't just theoretical. They're here and they are real. Okay. We can name a few. Rising sea levels mean coastal communities are at risk. we see this. I mean, I live here in Los Angeles. I live here in the Southern California, where coastal, when I see the coastline here. I mean, this is my neighborhood, basically. The coastline in California, Southern California, beautiful, by the way. And it's just so devastating to watch this declining and decimating the homes, the properties, and just gone in the last 2-3 days now. This is the third day now. I was just warmer temperatures fuel more intense wildfires, and we have the wind in the last 4 days, and the winds is just not helping out with the fires. Of course not. And we have a lot of challenges also with the LAFD fire department, the firefighters trying to fight against this. And my just appreciation and gratitude towards the LAFD personnel, the firefighters, all my friends, by the way, here in Los Angeles, and then we work together. We collaborate with a lot of projects and everything, and I support them all. So I just want to say thank you so much for all that you do. If you're listening to this, LAFD, thank you. All of the first responders, of course, because I myself was one. We're all thinking about you and your family as well while you're fighting fire for the residents throughout the LA County. So thank you. And, the warmer temperatures fueling more intense wildfires and shifting weather patterns disrupt agriculture, threatening food security. So, but let's not stop at identifying these problems. Let's talk solutions. All right, so what can we do? What can we offer ourselves to find solutions in this? Whether or not you believe climate change is entirely man-made, by the way, I believe it's man-made. So, right. I mean, the ones that I've seen here, wildfires in Los Angeles. Yeah, we get these fires every year, you guys. I mean, we talk about Santa Ana wind, that brisk to the coastline, right? And we are aware of it. It's a matter of, can we overcome this fire so it will not avoid to be out of control like this? So I do not want to jump into conclusion on this specific wildfires that just erupted, like so many little mini ones. And then we just went like, oh, how did that happen? So anyhow, I wanted to just jump in here to, share you guys my 3 cents. There's no denying the benefits of taking action. Here's a few steps we all can take. Educate, and educate. Educate yourself. Understand the science and stay informed, well informed. Misinformation is one of the biggest obstacles we face. Advocate for policy changes. Support leaders who prioritize sustainability and disaster preparedness. Now, we've been in this neighborhood for a while now, since 2011, 2012. So we've met a lot of folks, whether they're just public in general, consumers, residents, or even policymakers and, leaders and community leaders and, so, what have you not. We've been collaborating also, first responders also, of course. We've been collaborating with everyone to understanding and finding solutions, because our goal is to save lives, right? I mean, that's the bottom line. Our goal is to save lives and to reduce the risk of the disasters, basically. So that's my intention to come in here to just, hey, these are some of the that I think it can be workable. Reducing your carbon footprint. Simple actions like conserving energy, reducing waste, and supporting renewable energy make a whole lot of difference. So I'm going to follow with another thoughts. This is just a short version that I want to share with you guys. But on this whole podcast, I'm going to also combine with another more elaborated version of this topic, the same topic. So my closing thought for this particular shorter version is this. The question, so is climate change a hoax? You think about that, right? I respect your opinion, obviously. I mean, we all have to respect each other's opinions, right? But based on the overwhelming evidence, the answer is no. Sorry, guys. Right. It will always be no for me. So it's not just a global issue, it's a leadership challenge. It sure is. And considering what I've seen and what I've been involving in the last 4 days now, I mean, I've been with my EP colleagues also, and I've seen, and I want to just, like I said, jump in here to share with you my really, really, really authentic, personal, 3 cents that, based on my experiences, what I've known, what I've been dealing with, involved in, it is a leadership challenge. How we respond will determine the future of this planet, our planet, and the safety of generations to come. It's not just a global issue. And climate change, the answer is no. Not a hoax. I'll leave you with this. Leadership isn't just about guiding others. It's about making informed decisions, even when the truth is inconvenient. I think that's safe to say. The truth is inconvenient. So, all right. Thank you so much for joining me today on Leadership 365. If you found this discussion thought-provoking, I hope so. Share it with a friend or leave a review, and I want to just keep the conversation going. Like I said, I want to continue on with this topic in a more elaborated. So I'm going to pause here, you guys, and I am going to be back in a short minute. Thank you for listening. All right, I'm back here again. Hopefully that you guys enjoyed a little snippet here a while ago on the same topic, man-made climate change, hoax or reality. And this is some topic that is still a hot, discussion that we all need some sort of resolution. This is something that I think all of us are held accountable. Yeah, we do respect each other's opinions, but then it's, presenting it into a more accurate, and we all can come with a solution and some call to actions together, collaboratively, collectively, right? Selamat pagi semuanya. Terima kasih telah mendengarkan bersama kami di sini di Leadership 365. Bonjour à tous, merci beaucoup d'avoir écouté ici avec moi. And buenos días a todos, todas. Muchas gracias por escucharme aquí conmigo. So thank you so much for just being here and then listening to me here. Hang out with me here. I'll try to make it short and simple. About 45 minutes, 45 minutos, 45 menit. Di podcast saya ini, Leadership 365, our goal is really simple: to share and inspire other leaders and audiences such as yourself, listeners, spark insightful discussions, and provide valuable insights for you all. It is the goal that to focus on leadership development, safety, preparedness, education, transformational growth, and also personal development for both business and personal, individual. And it's designed to inspire sustainable leadership and create a positive impact for a better tomorrow. So that is what we're all about here at Leadership 365. And, this is a topic, like I said, man-made climate change, and we've already sort of discussed briefly a while ago, and I want to go elaborate a little bit more on this topic: hoax or reality, you guys. Okay, getting ready. I'm your host, and in today's episode, we're taking a topic that's both timely and controversial: disasters and climate change. Specifically, we will explore a question that many of us are still asking: is climate change a hoax, or is it not? And if not, is it something humanity has a hand in creating? All right, so let's get into it. All right, this is a man-made climate change, hoax or reality. In this provocative episode, I want to share and explore the question: is man-made climate change a hoax, or is it a pressing reality that we must confront? With the backdrop of these devastating global disasters, including, yes, the current wildfires in Los Angeles. Everywhere here is almost like looking at apocalypse going on here in a third world country or something. So we will examine the evidence and addresses the skepticism and challenges the myths surrounding climate change. And yes, we're going to emphasize the urgent need for leadership. I think that is a bold call to action there. And the critical role of sustainability and resilience in tackling this global crisis. It's time to move past doubt and take decisive action to secure a livable and sustainable future for all of us. All right, guys. Welcome to Leadership365, where we discuss bold leadership, innovation, and global challenges. I am your host, Nicky Dare, and today we're diving deep into one of the most crucial, controversial, provocative topics. This is issue of our time, man-made climate change. I just made that up, as I was posting some stuff on X last night, watching the last fire that was erupted in Studio City here. I was just like, wow, there's another fire. The jetty also, not the museum, but the villa caught on fire, small fire, and then it got larger and larger as the newscaster was covering the news. And it's like, how can that be? I don't know. But that man-made climate change, no, we all know that climate change is a hot topic. And not just because of the rising global temperatures, whether it is wildfires that's happening right now in California, Southern California, floods in Europe, hurricanes battering the Caribbean, the signs of changing climate are all around us. Like I said, all the time, all of this without border. What's happening, earthquake in Japan, likely to have impact here in the other side of the world. And we all know this. If we believe that Earth is one planet. But there's a twist, right? It's a sign of changing climate all around us. There's a twist. A growing number of voices are claiming that man-made climate change is a hoax. So I want to just jump in here today. I want to share my thoughts, and hopefully that you guys can hang out with me here for the next 40 minutes. So in today's episode, I want to challenge that claim, break it down, the science that is, and have a candid conversation about what's at stake. And I've been surrounded by calibers of just thinkers and also public, because the grassroots nonprofit that I created back in 2011, 2012, I think before that we already doing our stuff, but we, getting our license and things like that back then, and it finally got formalized in 2012, I believe. And then, we go to the ground, basically, boots on the ground, and then really put ourselves to work by getting the hands-on, talking to the public in general, and also decision makers, policy makers, community leaders, not just here in Southern California and California State, but also, we branch out to nationwide and then collaborate with a lot of national agencies as well, such as FEMA, federal, at a federal level, and also LFD, LAPD, and CERT, and first responders agencies. And we reach out also outside, basically, other countries around the world that we have the opportunity to collaborate with them as well. The topic is disaster preparedness, basically educating the public how to prepare ourselves, before natural disasters happen, right? And some we cannot predict. A lot of them we cannot predict, but some we can predict and stay prepared. And our thought is like reducing the disaster risk. Okay, enough of that one. We will explore the evidence, tackle the myths, and discuss the urgent need for us all, especially as leaders, to take responsibility for shaping a sustainable future. All right. The evidence, what the science says. Let's first address the most critical piece of the puzzle, the science. Okay, I think that's foremost important, the backbone of everything that we want to share, right? Our statement, our address this, our thoughts, right? When it comes to climate change, there's a mountain of evidence. Yes, there is. Thousands of climate scientists around the world, from the IPCC If you don't know what that acronym is, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, to basically independent researchers have gathered data over decades, and what they're finding is hard to ignore. So listen up. Increased global temperatures, changing weather patterns, shrinking ice caps. Yes, I witnessed this myself in Alaska. Love that place. It's almost like, oh my God, it's heaven on earth, right? If you're an outdoor person, that would be the best space to spend time with, mostly in the summertime. But it's very unfortunate to watch the glaciers in Alaska melting and declining, basically, on the ice, shrinking ice caps. These aren't just coincidences. They are symptoms of the damage we as humans have done through the unchecked emissions of greenhouse gases, particularly CO2, carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. So consider the fact that the last decade was the hottest on record. Yes, right? 2024. In 2020 alone, the world saw devastating heat waves in Siberia. And then let's not forget the massive wildfires in Australia. We witnessed that in 2020. And unprecedented storms occurred in the United States. What we're witnessing is the real-time impact of what happens when the planet's delicate climate system is disturbed. And in 2020, I want to just follow on this thought that I created during the pandemic. I created this global roundtable to talk about just this, sustainability, roadmap to sustainability, and covered all of these disasters, natural disasters, right? From deforestation, environmental degradation, all of this, it's just, we're witnessing it. But here's one thing, this is just not happening on a global scale. It's personal. I always go back to personal reflection, because it is. You can see the effects in your communities. People are losing homes, people are losing businesses, and tragically, their lives. These aren't just disasters. They are catastrophic consequences of a changing climate. So why some still questions the reality? So why the continued skepticism? Why do some still call man-made climate change a hoax? Well, let's be honest. There's a lot of misinformation out there. Yes, indeed. A lot of misinformation. Some of it comes from vested interests. And I think I mentioned this earlier on my short snippet version of this topic. Industries that profit from fossil fuels and have a financial stake in maintaining the status quo. And they are the politicians, of course, and media outlets, of course, they work together, who, for various reasons, propagate these falsehoods. Yeah, like I said earlier, they share the same memo and, have the same assignments and, announcing their news in the mornings. They're all same, having same trigger words and everything like that, creating confusion and doubt in the public. Oh, shame on you guys. All right. So we all know that. And thank you to Elon Musk for, creating the platform called X. And that's where I get my news. A lot of people, I think, now turn to X to get news that's so authentic and unbiased. But here's the reality. Climate change denial is not based on science. It's based on fear. Hear me out on this one. It's based on fear. Yes, it is. It's based on greed. This word I use so often now. It is. Staying in control and power. Influence. Control. That's what it is. Power. Right? And reluctance to face the uncomfortable truth. Accepting the reality of man-made climate change means acknowledging that we need to make big changes. And let's be honest, not everyone is ready to kind of shift. Nobody likes changes. Nobody. It's like, hey, it's comfortable, especially when it involves challenging entrenched systems and industries, right? But the truth remains, man-made climate change is real and is happening now. Look at around us. Look at us here in Southern California. Don't tell me that's not man-made. Some of these are just like, where did it come from? And you look at some of the videos, the drone that's flying over these Palisades homes. But, oh, by the way, I was just there having, because my son lives in Woodland Hills and around that area, in Calabasas and Ventura, Topanga, we would go cruise around there. And I'm not laughing because it's so unthinkable. We're there, and then, I haven't been around that area for a week. And then there goes that. I don't have any words to say, because some of the restaurants that they mentioned is like, oh, we were just there. We were just there like 2 weeks ago, less than 2 weeks ago. Anyway, Paradise Cove. We had lunch and saw the waves, and it was cloudy on a Sunday. And then we went to church right there, and it's gone. It's gone. I don't know if Paradise Cove is there anymore. But all of these are in Malibu. And we drove and cruised through the Calabasas. And if you guys are from that area, you know exactly what I'm saying. It's like Ventura, Calabasas, loop around to PCH, and up in the PCH, and then go down to Malibu, and then just go straight down to Malibu and the coastline. And there's a lot of like Duke's restaurants, basically, right? And then there's the Cove. Servers we saw, it was cloudy. And then now it's like, I've seen these videos doing sky, doing above aerial view. And it's just, all of these homes in the coastline is just decimated. It's just unthinkable. I cannot see the news. It's like, we were just there. We were just there. So I'm going to take a pause and kind of like sink into this thing, because I haven't really wrapped around my head to just share with you guys. It is real. And yes, it is happening. And I think my take on this, you gotta have to live, by just appreciating the simple things, I think. And those who have lost everything, as I'm speaking right now, I pray for you. I pray for you and your family. And then those who have lost lives, I know they say there's 5 lost lives, and just thousands of homes are destroyed and burned down to the ground. My thoughts are with you, and I pray for you. And I just cannot imagine, devastation going on in their world, and seeing and watching their home just getting burned down to the ground. I'm so sorry that it has happened. And I think all of us have learned by watching this is that, no, we need to be better preparing ourselves. And this is exactly what I've been advocating. My nonprofit, my grassroots nonprofit, I Dare, has been advocating this, to stay prepared. And we've been going around to provide free workshops and free just educational webinars online ever since pandemic too. And we need to stay resilient. It's the before, during, and after. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of times where we're going to heal emotionally, and we're going to recover as communities here in Los Angeles County. But this is a lesson for all of us to evaluate our level of preparedness and the leadership that we have currently. And we need to evaluate that, you guys. So I think I'm going to pause on that thought, and I'm going to get back to this topic of the podcast. So my thoughts, I just want to say, are with those people that have lost their homes. And I'm grateful that my son is okay, and then I'm okay. And then I've been really working with the other EP community to see what's going on, how we can help with these people. There's a lot of donation going on right now with a nonprofit. There's a couple big ones. Red Cross obviously is always there. And I'm so devastated to hear that the insurance companies are walking away, and this is typical. It's not unusual to see them this way. But I hope that the new leadership to be in office in a couple of weeks to fix the system properly and hopefully jump in to the office and jump in to help and save California, because it is a beautiful land here that we have in Southern California coastline. We have a lot of potential, a lot of talents here. It's too bad that the leadership has failed us. I live here for 3 decades now in LA, and I've seen it all, right? This is not how it should be, by the way. But anyway, I don't want to go on. Take a closer look at the real world example how climate change is playing out right in front of us. The wildfires in Los Angeles. These fires have become more frequent and intense. Yes, particularly in recent years. Yes, this is an annual thing, an annual disaster. We all know that. And then I mentioned in Santa Ana wind that always comes around, right? Thanksgiving season, usually, right around fall, winter. But it has become more frequent in the recent years. And the wind is so unusual the last 4 days. Specifically, 4 days ago, it picked up right around noontime. And then that was it. That's the start of the fire when the wind picked up. 3 days ago. In 2020, the state of California saw some of the largest fires in its history, burning millions of acres of land and forcing tens of thousands of people to evacuate. That's in 2020, but I think we saw also the Sand Fire in 2016, and that was like a wake-up call for all of us. In 2020, yes, there's a lot of fires aren't just an unfortunate series of events. They are a direct result of rising temperature, prolonged droughts, and changing weather patterns linked to the climate change. And what we're seeing in California is just one example. The increasing frequency of these events is no coincidence. Now, imagine the toll that these wildfires take, not only on the affected communities, but also on the ecosystems, air quality. Yes, air quality is so bad right now. And even the global carbon cycle. So as these forests burn, they release stored carbon into the atmosphere, further accelerating the very process that caused the fires in its first place. And hold on that thought, because I'm thinking it's like, hopefully it's not going to rain, because guess what? Gonna follow if it does rain after the fire, mudslide. So yeah, let's not go there, right? All right, next, leadership in action. What must be done? So what does all this mean for us as leaders? Simply put, we cannot afford to be passive observers any longer. Now we can't just sit still, right? That time and debate is over. We need action. We need it now. So as leaders, we must lead by example. It's not enough to simply talk about sustainability. We need to take action, implement policies, practices, and behaviors that prioritize the environment. Whether you're a business owner, policy maker, or just an individual, each of us has a role to play in reducing our carbon footprint, supporting RE, renewable energy, and advocating for climate-conscious decisions. Yes. And you guys, please do come to my Global Roundtable panel if you're interested to share your experiences, your thoughts, your solutions that have sustainable solutions that you have had success in. Share with us, and then we would love to hear from you. I mean, we always open up for new for new speakers in our panel. Global Roundtable, our next one is April 22nd on Earth Day. So talk to my team, and then you guys can reach me either here on this podcast, or just send me an email, hello@nickydare.com, or just reach out to idarecares.org, because that's who is going to host that event as well. Think about it. Every company, every government, and every person has the power to make a difference, right? Leaders have the unique ability to create real change, to inspire others, and to implement solutions that prioritize the planet's sustainability. Yes, the word is sustainability. Sustainability. Look at the word. Words. Sustainability is one word. This isn't just about saving the environment. No, it's not. As we know, environmental degradation there isn't about just saving the environment. It's about safeguarding the future of humanity. All right, here's my personal statement. I just want to integrate this into all this podcast. I know that by sharing these thoughts of mine, some people might not agree with me what I share here. I might even lose a few friends along the way. I always do, by the way, every time when I speak up. And honestly, that's okay. I've always believed in speaking the truth anyway, even when it's uncomfortable or controversial. If we continue to shy away from the hard conversations, then we're not leading. Think about that. We're just following the crowd, following the masses. Right? As leaders, we owe it to the future to be brave, to be bold, brave enough to speak the truth, no matter the cost. I lose a lot of friends along the way, and they, so that's okay. If I lose a few friends in the process of standing for what's right, then so be it. That's my take. I just turned 58 last week, so I'll keep speaking out because the truth is too important to stay silent. All right, that's it for me, you guys. Nicky Dare. But here's my final thoughts before I let you go, before I conclude this another great podcast, I think. Hopefully I don't bore you guys here. And then please do share before I share my final thought. Do share this podcast to those who really can use this. Sharing is caring, obviously. And then I really appreciate you guys. And reach me out. I don't have social media except on X. It's private, yes. And also on LinkedIn, which I not too often go there. But yeah, I read my notes, my DMs, they call it. But most importantly, though, I am on YouTube. I'm trying to build my YouTube. Yes, if you realize and you notice, I have over 1 million views now. I know. I'm very active on YouTube, so I hope that you can use, be helpful, be valuable. Those videos that I share, some of them are a little bit political, but a lot of these videos are really authentic. So let me know what you want to hear. What really strike chord with you. That can be valuable for you, but I try to be on YouTube and then be on LinkedIn and X and also be on this podcast. So share this podcast to others that you think might use and find it valuable. And, I really appreciate it. And then reach out to me if you need anything, consulting or speaking, or just be one of our speakers on our next events, virtual events. That'll be great. Just reach out to my team. All right, guys. So as we conclude today's episode, remember this: man-made climate change is not a hoax. Again, man-made climate change is not a hoax. The evidence is very clear. The science is irrefutable. Yes, indeed. And the impacts are undeniable. So the wildfires in Los Angeles, the storms, the droughts, these are all just wake-up calls that we can no longer ignore. Right. And I'm just reading as I'm speaking here because there are a lot of texts that coming in just asking me if I'm okay. Yes, I'm okay. I'm just going to share my status right now with you guys. I'm okay. I'm safe from the wildfires in Los Angeles. We didn't have any evacuation order. A lot of us here using Ring app, we were asking, the neighbors were asking, it's like, do we have to evacuate? Does anybody know that we have evacuation order yet or anything? But last night I was really watching that really close. But no, there's no evacuation order here with our neighborhood here. So thank God. Yeah, I'm still getting those incoming texts. So thank you for checking in. Thank you so much. All right, so going back here, the evidence is very clear. Climate change is not a hoax. The science is irrefutable. And as we already know, the impacts are undeniable. The fires that we're experiencing right now in Los Angeles, the storms, the droughts, these are just wake-up calls that we can no longer ignore. And, I think it's not too late. We still have the power to change the course of our future. I still believe in that. I think it's all entirely up to us to annihilate humanity here. We have the tools, we have the resources, we have the knowledge. Yes, we do. And we have the capability to reduce the impacts of climate change. It's time to stop pretending and start acting. And we owe it to our future generation, and we owe it to ourselves. Yes, I hope you agree with me on that one. So here's some call to action. I'll always include the call to action. Now I challenge you to take action, whether it is reducing your own carbon footprint on a daily basis, advocating for climate policy change if you can, or supporting sustainable initiatives in your community, which I'm doing currently, that I've been doing actually, and through my nonprofit, disaster preparedness, but I also compounded it with the sustainability, roadmap to sustainability program, which is hosted by Nicky Dare. Every action counts. So let's work together to build a sustainable future for all. Like I said, please do check out our work, our grassroots works through my nonprofit Nicky Dare. If you're interested in becoming a speaker, advocate, sponsor, yes, we need sponsors, or just, supporter, advocating together with us, please reach out to my team. Let's work together to build a sustainable future for all of us here. Thank you for listening to guys, to Leadership 365. Stay informed, stay engaged, and above all, stay resilient. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Leadership 365. If you found this discussion helpful, impactful, please do subscribe. Share it with others and leave a review, because your reviews are truly gifts for us. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you're navigating leadership in crisis. So connect with me on social media, which I don't have social media except LinkedIn and YouTube and X. So until next time, keep leading with purpose, keep improving, and remember, in every crisis, there's an opportunity to lead. All right, gracias por escuchar mi podcast hoy, y también gracias por pasar tiempo conmigo hoy, today. Terima kasih telah mendengarkan podcast saya hari ini. Terima kasih banyak. Terima kasih telah meluangkan waktu bersama kami di sini di podcast Leadership 365. Until next time, Nicky Dare signing off. Follow and connect with me on LinkedIn and YouTube and X. Check out some of my published books. Yes, my published books on Amazon. I'm still writing some more up to come, more coming here. Hope can bring some values for you and your team, you guys. God bless. Thank you for listening. This is Nicky Dare. God bless. Here's some quotes that I just made up for this particular podcast, and I think it's in alignment with everything else that we have done so far in our works of sustainability and disaster preparedness. Okay, I always get like either 3 to 4 or 5 original quotes. Okay, here goes. The first one: denying man-made climate change doesn't stop its impact. It only delays the action needed to ensure a sustainable future. Denying man-made climate change doesn't stop its impact. It only delays the action needed to ensure a sustainable future. And here's a good one, based on the leadership and climate change. Leadership in the face of climate change isn't about politics. It is about courage, responsibility, and the will to build a sustainable and resilient world. And this derives from the wildfires that's going on currently in my hometown. Every wildfire, flood, and storm is a reminder that the cost of inaction on climate change threatens not just lives, but the sustainability of our planet. Every wildfire, flood, and storm is a reminder that the cost of inaction on climate change threatens not just lives, but the sustainability of our planet. Hope that you enjoy these quotes, original quotes, and stay safe, always stay prepared. Situational awareness. All right. Take the best care of yourself. This is Nicky Dare signing off.